Today's topic is selection. The different aspects of staffing. What are they? Which are they? Recruitment, selection, and training. The second aspect is selection. What is selection? It's a process of identifying and choosing the best person out of a number of prospective candidates for a job. Towards this purpose, the candidates are required to take a series of employment tests and interviews. At every stage, many are eliminated and a few more on to the next stage until the right type is found. The process may start right from the screening of the applications. It may continue even after the offer of employment, acceptance and joining of the candidate. It is so because the process selection, like any other managerial decision, involves judgment about the performance potential of the candidate. Effectiveness of the selection process would ultimately be tested in terms of on the job of the chosen person. Process of selection. What are the steps involved in the process of selection? First point is preliminary screening. Preliminary screening helps the manager eliminate unqualified or unfit job seekers based on the information supplied in the application forms. Preliminary interviews help to reject misfits or unfit for reasons which didn't appear in the application forms. Second step is selection test. An employment test is a mechanism, either a paper and pencil test or an exercise that attempts to measure certain characteristics of individuals. These characteristics range from aptitudes such as manual dexterity to intelligence to personality. What are the important tests used for selection of employees? Intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test, trade test, interest test. We can see 5 types of tests. What is an intelligence test? This is one of the important psychological tests used to measure the level of intelligence quotient of an individual. It's an indicator of person's learning ability to make decisions and judgments. Second type of test is aptitude test. It's a measure of individual's potential for learning new skills. It indicates a person's capacity to develop. Such tests are good indices of person's future success score. Personality tests provide clues to a person's emotion and her reactions, maturity and value system, etc. These tests probe the overall personality. Hence, these are difficult to design and implement. Trait tests. These tests measure the existing skills of the individual. Existing skills. They measure the level of knowledge and proficiency in the area of professions or technical training. The difference between aptitude test and trait test is that the aptitude test measures the potential to acquire skills and the trait test measures the actual skills possessed. We have interest test. Every individual has fascination for some job than the other. So interest tests are used to know the pattern of interest or involvement of a person. The third step is employment interview. Interview is a formal, in-depth conversation conducted to evaluate the applicant's suitability for the job. The role of the interviewer is to seek information and that of the interviewee is to provide the same. Fourth step is reference and background checks. Many employers request names, address, telephone numbers or references for the purpose of verifying information and gaining additional information on an applicant. Previous employers, non-persons, teachers and university professors can act as references. This step is selection decision. The final decision has to be made from among the candidates who pass the test and interviews and reference checks. The views of the concerned manager will be generally considered in the final selection because he is responsible for the performance of the new employee. Sixth point is medical examination. After the selection decision and before the job offer is made, The candidate is required to undergo a medical fitness test. The job offer is given to the candidate being declared fit after the medical examination. The seventh step is job offer. The next step in the selection process is job offer to those applicants who have passed all the previous hurdles. Job offer is made through a letter of appointment or confirm his acceptance. Such a letter generally contains a date by which the appointee must report on duty. The appointee must be given reasonable time for reporting. The last and final step of the selection process is contract of employment. After the job offer has been made and candidate accepts the offer, certain documents need to be executed by the employer and the candidate. One such document is the attestation form, and this form contains certain vital important details about the candidate which are authenticated and attested by him or her. Attestation form will be a valid record for future reference, and there is a need for preparing a contract of employment. Basic information that should be included in a written contract of employment will vary according to the level of the job. But the following sets out the typical headings: job title, duties, responsibilities, date when continuous employment starts, and the basis for calculating service, rates of pay, allowances, hours of work, leave rules, sickness, grievance procedure, disciplinary procedure, work rules, termination of employment, etc. So based on this, today's assignment is what is selection and what are the steps involved in the selection process. Okay, by combining all these points, make the essay. Okay, thank you.